distributed computing. Soon I was reading about flanges, track sprockets, and bearings in bicycle construction. Then I clicked on FreeHub. These incorporate splines, mating features for rotating elements, and a ratchet mechanism built into the hub itself, rather than adjacent to or above it, as in previous non-FreeHub models, whose temporary disengagement permits coasting. 1.4. To a soundtrack, incongruous, of loop-recorded messages and chimes, a fruit machine's idle tune, snatches of other people's conversations, and the staggered, intermittent hiss, quieter or louder, of steam arms at espresso bars dotted about the terminal, a memory came to me, of freewheeling down a hill as a child, riding my second bike. It wasn't a specific memory of riding down the hill on such and such a day, more a generic one, in which hundreds of hill descents, accumulated over 2 or 3 years, had all merged together. Where my first bike had had a foot brake activated by the pedal, this one, fitted with a handbrake instead, allowed backpedaling. This struck me, I remembered, as nothing short of miraculous, that you could move one way while rotating the crank in the opposite direction contravened my fledgling understanding not only of motion, but also of time, as though this too could be laced with contraflow lodged right inside its core. Whenever I hurtled, backpedaling down the hill, I'd feel exhilaration, but also vertigo tinged with a slight nausea. It wasn't an entirely pleasant feeling. Recalling the maneuver now reproduced in the crowded terminal in my head and stomach the same awkward sense of things being out of sync, out of whack. 1.5. Around me and my screen, more screens, of other laptops, mobiles, televisions. These last screens had tickers scrolling across them, text whose subjects included the air delay in which I was caught up. Behind the tickers, news footage was running. One screen showed highlights of a football game. Another showed the aftermath of a marketplace truck bombing somewhere in the Middle East, the type of scene you always see in this kind of report. Hysterical, blood-spattered people running about screaming. One of these people, a man who looked straight at the camera as he ran towards it, wore a t-shirt that showed Snoopy lounging on his kennel's roof, the word perfection hovering in the air above him. Then, the scene gave over to an oil spill that had happened somewhere in the world that morning, or the night before, aerial shots of a stricken offshore platform around which a large, dark water flower was blooming. White-feathered seabirds, filmed from both air and ground, milling around on pristine, snowy shorelines, unaware of the black tide inching its way towards them, and, villain of the piece, shot by an underwater robot, a broken pipe gushing its endless load into the ocean. 1.6. My phone beeped and vibrated in my jacket. I took it out and read the message I'd received. It came from Payman. Payman was my boss. It said, "We won." That was it. 2 boys ran past me. One fell down, his brother jolted to a halt, backtracked a few paces, and roughly pulled him to his feet. They ran on. I looked up again at the television monitor on which the football game was showing. The goal I'd seen a moment earlier was replaying in slow motion. The ball's trajectory, the arc it followed as it cleared defenders' heads and keepers' hands, the backspin of its hexagons and stars, the sudden buckle and eruption of the net's neat grid as the ball hit it. This sequence now aligned itself with these words, sent to me by Payman. We won. I looked at the screen's upper corner, where the scoreline was displayed to see which teams were playing. Barcelona and Bayern Munich. I texted him back. Who won what? Company won project contract, he responded half a minute later. This I understood. The company was our company. Payman's company, the company I work for. The project was the Satin project. We'd been going after the contract for some time.